Welcome to today's episode of the Joe Pometto Law Show. It's attorney Joe Pometto here with my friend Marc. What we are going to do today is talk about what it's like at the county jail, specifically the Allegheny County Jail. So Marc has spent some time at the Allegheny County Jail. I'm going to ask him some questions. Okay, and he's just going to share with you what it was like in there. Hopefully you find this information useful, also informative, and perhaps a little bit entertaining.
For sure.
Okay, so Marc, you spent some time in the Allegheny County Jail, correct?
Yes, I have.
Okay, how much time have you spent there total?
Well, let's see. The first time I was there was 4 months. This was back in 2011, and it stretched into 2012. So November, December, January, February. And then the second time I was in there for 1 month, and that was most recently 2018.
Okay, so that's interesting. You were in there. It was about 8 years ago, 7 years apart. So maybe we'll get in that later. You can talk about what it was like then and if it's different now. Is it different now?
Yes.
It is?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they
and if you want it right there, Marc, is if you want to talk into the camera, just
that's the thing.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So the first time I was there, it was different. They had a different warden, I guess. So just the things that you could do inside, say your commissary, just your recreation, just the way they serve trays, things
okay.
like that.
Let's get back to that. Let's start from beginning, okay? And so you went to the jail in 2011, and were you arrested? Did you turn yourself in, or?
No, I was arrested in 2011. My charges were simple assault, and once you're booked into the jail, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering. Yeah, you went in. So they arrested you on a warrant or right after the incident?
Oh no, these are charges, simple assault. It was right after the incident. I got taken down to the county jail.
So was it late at night, or? It
was late at night. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So I'd say it was after 12. I had just gotten home from work, and then just had a unfortunate incident when I got home.
Okay, and so tell our viewers a little bit about what it's like when they first bring you into the jail.
Okay, bring you in. The police will give you to the corrections officers, so to speak. First thing you got to do is get searched. And that's take off your shirt, hands up against the wall, check your teeth, under the tongue, a little bit more invasive,
sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's it. Take in there, get your name, fingerprints. I'm trying to think what else. When you're first there, they will set you up with what's called pre-arraignment.
Okay.
Now, and that's where they're going to try to figure out there if you're eligible for and what is going to be your bail.
Okay.
And you sit there, you wait for that to get done, and then you go to your arraignment.
Okay.
And that's where you're going to plead. Guilty, not guilty, you find out your charges.
Let me ask you, but when you first get there and you're in pre-arraignment, and then when you're actually arraigned, how long does that take? It can be a long period of time, right?
It can be, depending on how busy the jail is, or depending on how hard of a time you're giving the COs. Sometimes if you're kind of a hard case, they're going to let you sit and stew for a little while, until you cool down.
Okay.
And then they'll.
And when where do they hold you? Are you being held with other inmates, or where are you?
Yes, you're in the basement of the jail, so to speak.
Okay.
You're just in a cell with you could be up to 8, 9, 10 guys. You got one commode,
Okay.
a bench, and that's it. Just an empty room, really.
Is it kind of how it looks in the movies? Like you said, it's a room and there's a commode and then there's bars.
It's similar. The
Okay.
Allegheny County Jail specifically does not have bars. They have sliding doors.
Mm.
They're solid. But yeah, it is similar to what you see in the movies, definitely.
Okay. And what's the atmosphere when you're in that room generally and when you're waiting for the arraignment? I guess everybody there is a new arrival, right?
Everybody's a new arrival. Moods they range from hostile to, friendly. It could be, guys just sleeping. They don't, they're sleeping off whatever it is they want, or they're just, they know it's going to take a while, so they're catching some sleep. Guys just pacing, come on, let's get this done. Come on. I can't wait to tell the judge, the bullshit I just went through.
Sure. What do you do? What did you do when you were in there? Did you just hang out on the bench or, talk with other guys?
You talk with other guys. Like I said, it depends on how you're feeling at that point. Moods, they range. You could find somebody to talk to, just to pass the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's you're still kind of bitter and angry, kind of just want things to get over with. So,
I bet. So, all right. So then so how long does that process usually take, say, from when you're taken in until you see the judge for your arraignment?
I mean,
how long did it take for you, if you recall that first time?
Maybe 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Before I got arraigned.
All right. And then I guess the judge didn't give you an ROR bond, which is release on your own reconnaissance.
He did not.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact amount, but yeah, I was held, inside. I didn't make bail.
So they set a bail, and then if you can't post it, you'll sit in the jail until your case is resolved, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll go from your arraignment. They'll move you into another room now where you can make phone calls. There's vending machines. It's a little bit television, a little bit I don't know, looser, a little bit more looser than the other rooms that you had been in at that point. And then you'll just sit there until you either make your bail or you're going to get processed and sent upstairs.
Okay. Can you make a phone call before the arraignment when you're in that holding cell?
No phone, no telephones, nothing like that until after your arraignment.
And what if you don't have any money? Is the phone call collect, or that's on the jail, the first call?
All of the phones are collect, or none of the pay. They're not pay phones anymore, so to speak, where you put a quarter in the actual phone anymore. They're all done. It's all a computerized system, automated. Your first phone call that you do make will be free.
Okay.
But the thing is, the person you're calling has to know to push the number.
Okay.
And then you'll get a free phone call. But if they don't know that, the recording itself that they're listening to will prompt them to set up an account.
Right.
And then they have to open up an account with their credit card, pay for it, and then that's how you communicate with the outside world.
That could cause some problems, though, people not answering or hanging up, right?
It can be a real problem because certain cell phones they might not be set up to do this. Like Cricket, things like that. They weren't set up, especially back in 2011 when I was there first.
Sure.
It was difficult to get that set up. Yeah, if you didn't have the money. Folks on the outside don't know how to do it. Yeah, just all kinds of obstacles, so to speak, just to make a phone call. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so you've had the arraignment. You've been arraigned. They set your bond. You're not able to post it at that time. Where do they take you next when they know it's going to be more of an extended stay?
All right. So while you're sitting there, watching TV or whatever, you're being processed by the COs. They are taking your name, your photo, and all that, and you're going to get a wristband. And then after your wristband, you're in the system officially, so to speak. Mm-hmm. They will take you upstairs. So before you go upstairs, they're going to take you to another room where you're getting searched again. Take your clothes off. Now you're given a red jumpsuit.
Okay.
and bedroll, a change of underwear, socks, t-shirt, another red jumpsuit just to change into, and a pair of slippers, basically to, there's your shoes. They're slippers, but they're your shoes.
So before that, you were wearing your own clothes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what they store your stuff somewhere, right?
Yeah,
They're supposed to,
downstairs.
at least.
Yeah, downstairs they all have little containers, just little plastic containers. You give them your stuff. You get a receipt,
Okay.
for your stuff, and it's all stored downstairs. No problems with that, honestly. Nobody ever lost my clothes or nothing.
Okay.
So that all worked out okay.
That's good. I've heard stories. Anyway, so all right, the Allegheny County Jail. Where do they take you? There's different floors. They put you in a pod. Where do they take you?
Yes. Well, depending on
Describe
your
that.
charges.
Okay.
They will take you upstairs to, floors 2, 3, 4. One of the floors is specifically for employees. And as the floors get higher in number, it's, I want to say the security gets higher as well.
Right.
So, typically the guys on the second floor, one floor up there, minimum security, kind of easy going, things like
Is that where you were?
that's where I was the first time.
First time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second time was a little different.
Okay.
I was upstairs on 6,
Okay.
and it's the security's a little bit more hard.
Why'd they put you on 6 the second time?
My charge?
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Aggravated assault.
Okay.
For the second time, so
Okay.
it was a little bit more severe, and I guess it was more of a threat, so to speak. Whatever.
Okay.
However they look at it.
So they take you to the second floor, and what do? They just release you? They show you your cell?
You get second floor. You check in with the CO. If you're given a cell at that point, you may or may not have a cellmate in there. The times I was there, I got my cellie as I was being checked into that pod. I got a cellmate with the group from one of the guys I was in the group.
Oh, so one of the guys
pod.
from intake.
Yes.
So you got to pick your cellie.
So to speak. Yeah, it was somebody I'd been bumming around with just a little bit, talking, the little bit of talking that you do downstairs. And as we were both sent upstairs, we realized, hey, we're going to the same place. Might as well hang out together if we can.
Now, did you ask the corrections officers if you guys could be in the same?
Yes.
And they won't object to that?
No.
Okay.
For the most part, if you seem like you want to be, with somebody, they don't want to interfere. As long as there's not going to be a problem, they won't interfere with that.
Okay. So then, what do you do then? You go into your cell, get your stuff together, or
your cell. They're going to give you a mattress at that point too for your bunk. And that's you can set up your bunk. Just sit. Depending on what time of day it is. The first time I was there, it was the nighttime. When I was checked in, so I went to bed. There's really nothing else to do. Then the second time I was there, it was the middle of the day, so you just kind of went out at rec.
Okay. And what goes on at rec?
The pod. Yeah, that's right. The pod. First floor, second floor, 2 floors on the pod. Rec is when either floor and all the inmates are allowed out, from their cells.
That's short for recreation.
Recreation,
right? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And your pod's going to have 2 televisions, 10 phones, same setup as downstairs, with the credit card and set up an account.
Okay.
And you can order Commissary. You have access to the computer to order your Commissary, and you have access to a law library computer.
Okay.
And that's about it. Exercise. There's a basketball court.
Okay.
Or you can jog, or just kind of walk around the pod, whatever And other than that, that's talk. A lot of guys play cards.
What did you do?
Television, exercise.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my rec typically.
Okay.
Television, exercise.
Who decides what's on the television?
The that can be a touchy situation sometimes.
What do you mean?
Well,
Give us an example.
it depends on your CO really. If he's kind of militant about holding the remote, and you're going to watch what he wants to watch, then that's what you're watching.
Okay.
And then otherwise, it's up to the inmates really. You kind of just come to an agreement, so to speak, as a group. And that's what's on the TV.
Is it sort of like a majority rules? Like if the most guys want to watch this, then it'll usually end up that way.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you get enough guys that say, "Yeah, we want to watch that," then that's what's on.
Okay. And
I get those too.
Right. I mean,
Scams.
random. Yeah, it's random scam calls. Okay. So sometimes the CO who's in charge, he watches what he wants to watch.
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
What kind of stuff do they watch? You remember?
The news. Anything that's not going to excite the inmates.
Okay.
And a lot of them, they'll keep the volume down.
Okay.
It's not loud. You have to be quiet and listen.
Okay.
So there's not a whole lot of conversation.
While
you're watching television?
What would excite the inmates? Like violence or like a sex type
violence,
show?
sports, yeah,
sports.
Okay. Anything. Some things on Comedy Central, comedian. But what would really get the guys up? Sometimes they would put on those countdown shows, like on the True TV channel. The world's dumbest criminals, the world's dumbest partiers, the world, those type of things.
Right.
Yeah, that would bring amusement to everybody, really.
Okay.
But, yeah,
Gotcha.
That was
gotcha. Good. Okay, and so what have you ever seen any fights? Have you seen any crazy stuff when you're in rec time in the pod?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Guys playing cards, just specifically, two guys were playing cards. And when you're there, obviously you don't have money. So if you want to gamble, which is not allowed, but if you want to gamble, commissary, items, a package of ramen noodles, candy bar, things like that, they get, bet. That's your ante.
That's your ante. Okay.
So, this guy, he was deep in the hole for, commissary, owed all kinds of items, didn't have them. So people were waiting for him to get his order. And, people get tense, over these things because there's really nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, if somebody owes you some items, that's kind of what's on your mind.
Sure.
And, this guy, he didn't, I guess he didn't think the person that was that owed him was going to make good. And, they just started, arguing. The argument escalated. And before you know it, they're, laying hands on one another. And, that usually makes it bad for everybody.
Sure.
At that point.
What do the COs do in that situation?
They have a couple different options. He can either handle it himself, but if it escalates, into physical things, I honestly think they're required to pull this pin that they have on their belts, which alerts COs in the hallway without ever actually picking up a phone or talking on the walkie-talkie.
Oh, okay.
Like
I didn't know they had that.
Easy notice.
Okay.
And COs will
start stream in
through the front door, and they just immediately send everybody to their cells, lock down, break up the problem, and go from there.
Okay. Now, what will they do with those individuals? Will they put them in the hole?
Yes, they go into solitary, the hole, for however long it deemed to be, and then when they get sent back to their cells, they move. It won't. It's only to collect their belongings, and they will be sent to a different pod separately.
So they'll separate them,
and just send them to different pods entirely.
Okay.
Just kind of eliminates the problem. Because
Yeah.
now these two don't know where each other are, and the items owed and all that just kind of gets eliminated. It's thrown out.
Okay. Have you ever been in solitary?
No.
Okay.
Never got myself any situation where
Any scraps while you're in there?
No, not me.
Gotcha.
No.
Gotcha. So you blend in good with the crew basically, or you just keep it low key?
No. I try to be friendly with everybody.
Mm.
Why not? Why do hard time?
Gotcha.
It's just hard times for hard asses.
Gotcha.
I think the actor that Armando Sante played that when he played John Gotti.
Okay.
Yeah, he told the guys when he was in prison, he was talking to the black guys, the Italians and the blacks. It's
Yeah.
you're gonna have that, especially when he was doing time.
Sure.
So yeah, that was something he said, and I thought, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. What about in the county jail? Are there, people watch TV shows, of course, from going off of, are there gangs, or do people tend to, hang out, like all the black guys together and the white guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you're in there, the divide of cultures is apparent. It's just right in your face. Yeah. I thought it was amusing. Look, everybody's enjoying themselves. Do what you're gonna do. But when I was there, we had hockey and then basketball would be on the same night.
Okay.
And you could tell one television had the basketball, one television had hockey.
That's funny.
And you could pretty much assume who was watching what.
I gotcha. Yeah.
It's obvious, and it's right in your face, and but like I said, the guys watching basketball were enjoying themselves. The guys watching hockey were enjoying themselves. Nobody bothered each other, and it's all good.
Gotcha. And so, what about what's the daily schedule like when you're in there?
All right. Breakfast trays will be first. That's the first time you're really allowed out of your cell.
What time is that?
They try to do it around 8 o'clock. I want to say.
Okay.
The lights on the pod will come on. I want to say 7 a.m. when the guards do shift change. The guards will work 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7.
Okay.
And then the lights will come on at 7. You're let out for breakfast. One floor to floor by floor for breakfast around 8. Back inside, and then they'll let you out for a little bit of rec, before they do counts. It counts all day too. So
what's count?
Well, just a count of heads, really, and make sure everyone's there.
Okay.
Then they do this a couple times a day while you're awake, and then I'm pretty sure they do them at night too while you're sleeping. They just, if you're sleeping, light sleeper like I was, or maybe just still awake, the guard will come around and you'll know the flashlight will come flying in your, come beaming in your cell, and they're doing a count at night while you're sleeping.
Oh, they'll do it while you're sleeping.
Oh, sure.
They just look in though. They don't wake you up.
No, not that. It's not invasive in the evening. They just flashlight.
How about when you're sleeping? Ever have any rackets or guys making noise or stuff like that in the pod?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
There's guys that they just don't sleep at night. They kind of just stay up all night, and they will, honestly, if they're not in the cell with someone talking to them directly, they'll yell.
They'll be yelling.
To the guy, whoever it is they want to talk to. Just yell. Because everybody else is sleeping. There's no other noise except for them two. They just
they'll
don't
be
care.
yelling to their buddy across.
They just don't care. Yeah.
Okay.
And you had that a couple times. It's annoying, but there's really nothing you can do about it.
Will the CO shut that down?
No.
They just don't care at that point?
No, as long as it's not a bunch of guys making all kinds of noise.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they'll let them go.
Okay. All right, so you got trays. Is that what you call breakfast, or when you eat? It's
breakfast trays. Yeah, trays are coming. Yeah,
Okay.
what's on the trays today? What kind of crap are they serving?
How does that work? Do you eat in the pod?
Yes.
Okay, they bring the trays out?
They bring them in stacked up real high, and like I said, floor by floor. You'll come out, grab your tray, sit down, eat. Breakfast can be anything from dry cereal, milk, obviously, maybe a piece of like Danish, something like that.
Okay, getting fancy.
Like cake. I wouldn't say fancy, but and then little little like breakfast sausages. Definitely not Jimmy Dean. Breakfast sausages.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Oatmeal.
Did you eat it? You eat that food?
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
And there's especially if you don't have commissary, that's it. It's if you want to eat and stay healthy, that's what you got.
Yeah, that's a question I have, because I've had some clients who tell they live off their commissary. Is that common, or most of the guys eat the food?
If you can afford it.
What do you get? What's your options at commissary?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can get on that menu. Ramen noodle soups, any little packets of tuna fish.
Okay.
You can get little, what do they call them? Little like beef jerkies kind of things, and
Okay.
little like sausage sticks.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. Danish, Hostess cupcakes, things like that. All the
Okay.
little packaged, confectionery stuff.
Now, can you get the commissary whenever you want? So if you're on rec, can you get something at commissary, or is that only at the meal times?
No, commissary.
How does that work?
You place your order, right?
Yeah.
And it will come, I'm pretty sure, Wednesday mornings. And that morning after breakfast, rather than have rec, everybody's locked in their cell. And then they bring the commissary guy. He comes up and they call you out one by one, because it's all for your own security.
You don't want somebody out, right? I get
because
it.
They could eyeball you while you're getting your stuff. And
Gotcha.
they say, hey, look, he's got all this.
Gotcha.
You're gonna go get that later. And then same thing, really. If the cell's loaded up with people and they're having rec and you're handing out commissary, it's a little crazy to
Everybody sees what they're getting.
Yeah,
I get it.
And not to mention just organizing it, trying to get everybody quiet enough to hear who's next and all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, they keep you on lockdown while they deliver commissary. And then like I said, you make that order throughout the week. You have till, say it comes Wednesday, you have to have your order in by Sunday evening, because anything you put on at Monday morning is going to come on your next order.
Okay. And so you take that commissary, you keep that in your cell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to keep it as secure as you can in your own cell.
How do you make the ramen noodles though? You have access to the hot water or what?
You get hot water as hot as it can be from your sink in your cell.
Okay.
Or depending on the floor that you're on, in the evenings they will bring up a thermos of scalding hot water. Really?
Specifically for commissary or whatever?
Guys will make their tea, they'll make their soups in the evening, things like that. Yeah, it's for the inmates to do whatever they want to do with it, as long as it's not going to hurt somebody. Nobody throws water on.
Okay. Can you do you get to drink coffee while you're in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can have coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to order it from the commissary though. It's not something they serve to you as part of breakfast though. You have to buy your own.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, coffee's okay. Yeah, there's a couple things like stimulants. Yeah, there's a couple things that on commissary that they do allow.
What about tobacco?
For the most part, no tobacco. Yeah, like I was gonna say, no soda. You can't have like a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew or something like that. They don't want y'all hopped up on caffeine and sugar, and
Okay.
So that's
Are there guys who are getting
restrictions?
There guys who are getting cigarettes in there though somehow.
Oh, sure.
And shit. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Both times I was in there, if you want a cigarette, I can get you one. It just costs you 6 items.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's it. You trade items for cigarettes. And how they get in there. I know how that happens too.
Right.
It's most people, they have to stuff it where you wouldn't want it. And it happens during visits, things like that. New inmates come in, they know they're coming, so they'll stash
they'll prepare
they'll prepare it. Yeah.
Okay.
But just like you come down to see me that day, you know what I mean? You could have brought me something.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
that's they know that.
Yeah.
But
and attorneys have been accused, and I'm sure. I'm sure it's happened.
I'm sure they have.
I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, definitely. You could have brought me something that day, and
sure,
I would have figured it out if I needed to, or if that was what I was into. I'm not.
Why push your luck while you're in there?
Right. It's just all too risky for me, and I'm not. I was just never really cut out for that, that kind of behavior stuff. It was just never really my thing. While I was in there, I figured, you're in enough trouble. Why push it?
Gotcha. And what about how would you describe the relationship let's say your relationship with the guards and the COs? I mean, generally, it sounds to me like certain things they'll work with you on, right? Like you were saying, they bring you out one-on-one with the commissary. When they bring you in, they let you choose your cellie, stuff like that. I mean, you ever seen give us a general description. I mean, the CO's generally fair or what?
As long as you don't give them a problem, most of them are. There are a few of them that they're just going to be tough on you because you're an inmate. They're the corrections officer. That's the way it's programmed in their head to work. So that's just how it's going to happen.
Okay.
But yeah, for the most part, if you don't give them a problem and you're not, a pain in the ass, so to speak, to them, whatever.
Yeah.
They're fair. They don't want problems. They don't want their job to be harder. So yeah, they'll work with you as much as they can, as long as you're not being ridiculous, as long as you're not requesting just ridiculous stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, they're okay.
You ever
They
seen
can be.
you ever seen any inmates go at it with a guard?
Oh
or-
sure.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, an actual fist fight with the guard inmate. Yeah, sure.
What happened there?
But same, like they have that pin on them,
Okay.
and that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens. The guards just stream in, the 10, 15 of them at a time, just all at once, and lock down.
Okay.
If you're not involved, get to your cell, and
Yeah.
if you are involved, they're gonna handle it. They're breaking up things, and they're gonna figure it out
Okay.
at that point. But yeah, sure, I've seen that.
Okay. And what about? Well, I got a question. So you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What liquids do they serve you? Just water or water and milk?
You can have water. They give you milk for breakfast, yeah, and I would recommend just drinking water because they serve you. It's a generic version of Kool-Aid.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's just not good for you at all.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
high fructose corn syrup powder, and that's it.
It's funny because
That's it.
I was in the military, and in basic training is pretty much the same thing, Mark. It was they
Yeah.
give us, we could drink water, Gatorade, which I think was like a powdered Gatorade, and milk. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's at least it was Gatorade.
Right,
at least
yeah,
you
it
had
was
the
powdered Gatorade. with
electrolytes
sugar,
and things
right.
like that.
Right.
The thing they got that they call it nippy. I don't know what the heck that means, but
Mhm.
they got terms. The inmates got terms for everything in there. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's a generic version of Kool-Aid. And if you spill some on like the white walls or something like that, that stain's not going anywhere.
Mhm.
So I think about what's it doing to my insides.
Sure.
So yeah, I just laid off of that.
Okay.
If I was lucky enough to get commissary, I would get tea. I'm a tea drinker, so I would drink a lot of tea.
Did you see any guys with the commissary? Like, were there any special things that they would make? There was specific. Do stuff with the. Give me some examples.
Sure. The hot water, when the hot water comes up, one of the big things in jail for the inmates is making a chi-chi, and that's just a couple packets of ramen noodles.
Mhm.
All right, no powder,
Okay.
not the seasonal mix. And then, like I said, you can order the sausage sticks. You can get some cheese, real cheese off of the commissary. Vegetables, sorted vegetables like banana pepper rings, jalapeno pepper rings, beans.
That sounds like good stuff.
Yeah, some of the things aren't bad. It's
Yeah.
just the price you're paying for them.
Okay.
You might get a little bag of peppers, but it's going to cost you like $2-3 for these peppers.
Gotcha.
Knowing that, peppers,
peppers.
it's a couple of cents.
Outside,
it's cents on the outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the ramen noodles themselves, one package is $1.
Okay.
On the outside, you can get 6 of them for $1 at the grocery store.
Absolutely.
And that's, so there's that. But yeah, anyway, so
Yeah. What's the
you
cheat?
concoct all this stuff together and you use the hot water.
Okay.
And, you just kind of make like
a
a
soup?
goulash. No. It's not really runny because the water is absorbed up by the noodles. So it's just like a noodle casserole kind of thing,
Okay.
except you're making it in a bag.
Okay.
And then you just kind of portion it out for your guys and whoever chipped in, with their items. And that's a big thing at night.
So everybody
Guys like
will
that.
chip in. to
Sure.
make
Oh
it.
yeah, they'll
Okay.
make a grand, big bag of them, and you see like 15 guys sometimes. They just chip in on this big, thing, and that's it. Everybody got a little snack at night.
Okay. And what about haircuts in there? How does that work?
Let's see.
Because I've seen guys cutting hair on the pod.
Right.
They allow that, but there's also like a barber.
There's a
room.
barber shop.
Yeah.
When you're in like the minimum security,
Mhm.
you can sign up to go to the barber shop once a week. That's
Okay.
the thing. And they, I guess the COs back then, they are fair.
Yeah.
They will see who's been there, who hasn't been there. If you have to be in court coming up or something like that,
They'll
they'll
you
make
cut.
sure you get there. Yeah,
Okay.
so you're cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want, you know, they don't want you to be unhygienic either.
Sure.
So,
Right.
you know, they're pretty fair about that. But then, so say you don't go to the barber shop.
Okay.
There are guys that will just cut hair right on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
They will fix a razor blade to a comb and then just kind of comb their hair with the razor blade. And it's, you know, it's tight. It's a almost, you know, skin cut.
Okay.
That's one way of doing it.
Okay.
And then if depending on the security, what floor you're on, they have clippers.
Yeah, I've seen guys with clippers
just right on the pod.
Yeah.
So they'll pick like one or two guys that know how to do it. Maybe they did it on the outside.
Yeah.
They're barbers.
Yeah.
Or they can just real good with clippers.
Yeah.
And they'll just do it right there on the pod. You know, you sign up for the list same way you would do the barber shop.
Yeah.
The CO looks and says, "Okay, you got court. You're already cleaned up. What are you doing on this list?"
Okay.
You know, and they, you know, that's it. They do that once a week, right on the pod.
Now, the barber shop, is that a barber that comes in, or is it an inmate to do that?
It's an inmate, but, you know, typically they're going to send somebody to do it that knows what they're doing. You know, somebody that wants to do it, too.
So the guards will find somebody who can cut hair.
Yeah.
And put them in the barber shop.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to, you know, they'll ask, you know.
What if the jail didn't have anybody that could cut? That wouldn't happen.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, someone in there is going to know how to work some clippers, but
right.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
There were times that when I was down there the first time, I waiting on that list, and you know, everybody wants to go to the barber shop once a week, you know, just to, if for no other reason, they don't need a haircut, just to get off the pod.
Yeah.
So the list is ridiculous, you know. So I actually just did the razor blade with the comb thing.
Oh, is that what you did?
Said, yeah, like I said, it is tight. You know, you might get mistaken for a skinhead.
Okay.
You know, white power type thing. But
right.
Yeah. No, it's just a way to do it. You're clean. It's tight. You know, It's one less thing to worry about. That's just.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Then, the second time I was down there, it was, like I said, it was a little bit more not maximum, but my security was heightened.
Okay.
So I got my haircut right on the pod, just with some clippers. You know, the guy with the clippers.
Okay.
And he was good. He knew what he was doing. So
yeah.
Everybody looked good. Mm-hmm. You can kind of wait and just kind of watch and see who goes before you. see what their head looks like. Yeah. See what their head looks like, and then okay, you can do my hair.
Now, what about, so they put you in reds, right? What's that called? What's that thing that the inmates wear? Is it called a jumpsuit, or it's called
your reds?
Your reds.
Jumpsuit. Yeah, it's just a pullover shirt. No buttons, nothing like that. And then pants are elastic waist. Again, no buttons.
Do you have a T-shirt on under that?
Yeah, you have to. You're kind of supposed to wear a T-shirt underneath. Yeah,
okay.
That's the guard. They want you to.
Okay.
Yeah, they get 2 white T-shirts. That's it.
Now, isn't there different colors for different levels of security, or depending?
There, everyone wears red.
Okay.
But then, if you're going solitary, you get a different color.
What color is that? Black and white. Black and white stripes.
It's like stripes. Yeah, you look like the Hamburglar.
Whenever I would see those, that's like that classic, like you said, the Hamburglar, the stuff you see in the movies.
Stripes,
right, the black and white stripes that you think about. So, but that's just for people who are in the hole. Then isn't it called DHU down Allegheny County Jail?
DHU, the disciplinary housing unit.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
DHU.
All right. So you got the red ones, which is for the standard inmate. Aren't there some other colors too? Depending. I could have sworn I've seen orange.
I think if you're, orange is the trustees. The trustees are inmates who are trusted to do work inside the jail. So they're the guys that take your clothes downstairs and make sure they're in a container and stored. That's a trustee. Trustee will come around and sweep and mop, clean up the cell.
Okay.
Clear the pod. I'm sorry, you're responsible for your own.
So they sort of have special privileges.
Sort of.
I mean, it's work, but it's work. They get to move around.
They're working. Yeah, they get to move. They get a little bit extra time. Rec watch TV, things like that, off to themselves. But yeah, it's work. You know, they have to keep the pod clean, trays when you're getting served your tray, and you know, the food area where it's all done, that's them. They're keeping that clean. They're making sure you got your food. You know, if you don't, they have to communicate with the COs. Say, hey, so we're short on this, or blah, 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 whatever it is. They're the guys that do that. They're the guys in the orange jumpsuit.
Yeah,
Trustees.
whenever I would go down to see visit one of my clients, I'd see the same guys out in the hallway. Those must have been the trustees.
Yeah.
You know, and we'd exchange pleasantries. Hello, how are you? This and that, you know, and they'd be rolling around. And I was like, is this guy even in jail? I mean, the guards don't even blink an eye. It's like,
they're okay.
How do you get there? You got to be there a while.
You got to be there a while and just prove to the CO that you can be trusted.
Okay.
That's where the term trustee comes from.
Will they just pick a trustee, or
if they have a certain number that they want, you know, on the pod, you know, doing that, or you know, whatever, and say somebody gets sent home, somebody gets sent to a different pod, or whatever it is, you know, they move to a different jail, different facility, then a position opens up, and the guys will either ask the CO, you know, hey, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it?
So some guys will put
or the
themselves
CO
forward.
he'll just put out a list.
Okay.
You know, an open list. Say, here, if you want on this, sign your name. You know, if you want, and then I'll consider, you know, who's on the list, and I'll go from there. Yeah,
because
CO's call.
So I saw the same guy down there for months.
Yeah,
man, I hope you get out. Like, you're out here busting your ass. Like, can you give, you know, please get out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about lunch and dinner? Standard, same deal.
Yeah, same thing.
What do you get for lunch? Sandwiches or?
Yeah, lunch is a little obviously different than breakfast. You get not a full meal, so to speak, like a full entree, but more like you said, like a bologna sandwich, maybe hot dog.
Okay.
You know, something light. But you're definitely getting like a meal. You know, at that point, you know, so you get your protein, starch, and vegetable. Yeah, that's.
Do you get fruit?
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you get apples. They used to give oranges, but then guys, they use fruit. They let it ferment and make wine.
Like the rinds.
Just depending on what the fruit is. You know, if they can figure out a way to make alcohol from it.
Did you see any of that while you were in? Any alcohol?
I did not. No. I heard guys tell about it, you know, this and that, like I know how to do it, or so and so knows how to do it, and this and that. But once they eliminated the oranges, that was it. Yeah, I don't know. Guys can make it with an apple. Maybe it's a little harder. I don't know.
Okay, what about dinner? Give us a few examples.
You know, again, you just brought out, you know, by floor
pasta.
Yeah, you know, bigger
meatloaf,
bigger sandwich if they're gonna go that route.
Yeah,
but you know, you get a nice portion of pasta. Oh, nice, but you know, whatever. But meatloaf, entrees, turkey with gravy and potatoes, that kind of thing. Not just like a turkey sandwich. Yeah, more of like a, you know, like a home cooked entree type thing.
Okay,
that's dinner.
What about if you don't have commissary? Do you get snacks in between the meals or no? No. It's just you're gonna eat your 3 squares. That's it.
Yeah. That's why I said if you're broke, you know, and you know, did you eat your tray? Yeah, that's all you got. Can you get to seconds? Can you get larger servings or anything? No. Your best bet for extra serving is breakfast, because not everybody comes out for breakfast. But they'll still send up that many number of trays to feed all the inmates.
Okay.
So if you're out there and everybody's fed and they have extra trays, at some point they're just going to say trays, and you'll see a herd of guys that got up for breakfast. They'll just flock to it and get their trays, and you know, it's actually not a bad idea. I've done it once or twice myself.
Yeah, if you're hungry.
I grabbed a couple extra milks.
Sure.
You know, it's just nice because, you know, it's milk.
Yeah.
Cereal stores.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
so you can put it in your salad.
You can keep dry cereal stores pretty well. So there's that. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Okay.
You know,
pretty cool.
Yeah, especially like I said, if you don't have commissary, like you're asking, if you don't have commissary, so that's all you got.
So can those guys, you can sleep through breakfast if you want?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to eat. There's no requirement that they bring you up your tray. If you don't want to eat it, that's on you.
How about during rec? You can hang out in your cell if you want to.
Yes, as long as your door is closed and you cannot have anyone else in the cell with you that is not your cellmate.
Okay.
Because everyone's out on the floor.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder to watch what's going on. They don't want you in somebody else's cell doing, what you're not supposed to do.
Gotcha. If you get too many people in one room, they're probably up to no good.
Right.
Is what it comes down to.
They want to know what's going on there.
Sure.
Why is everybody huddled up in this room? Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. It's either a fight, maybe they're sneaking smoke.
Right.
Something, whatever it
Drugs,
is.
It could be anything.
You don't want that. So that's why, you're not allowed.
All right. And then whenever you're getting out, how does that work? They just come in, tell you you're leaving, or what's the process?
Well, let's see. Either you've been to court,
right?
And the judge you're free,
right?
You served your time,
right?
Or somebody paid your bail,
right?
You're just sitting in there waiting for your bail. So whatever reason it is, you're getting sent home. You just they call your name. It could be out of the clear blue sky.
Mm-hmm.
You could have seen the judge 3 days ago. But
right.
You're still waiting for your paperwork to get
Absolutely.
processed.
I've seen it. Yeah.
And just call your name out of the clear blue sky and pack it up. You're gone.
What can you take with you?
You're going to take back your bedroll.
Oh, you turn that stuff in.
You have to give that back because even if you do or don't have your receipt, they got your name. But you have to give back your stuff on the bedroll so that you can get your items back, your personal belongings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And they transfer, and then even when you're free, you're still sitting downstairs, waiting to get freed.
Yeah. How does money work in there? How would somebody come and deposit money for you to have for your commissary?
Okay, there is a kiosk in the lobby of the jail.
Okay.
Or there's an 800 number they can call and put it on with a credit card.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about
the
dial-in. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Either way, whatever way you're going to do it, it's going to cost you money.
Mm-hmm.
So say you want to send somebody $25, it's going to cost you $3. So you're only getting 22 on the inside, and that's every time.
Now, how do you know when you have money? They give you a sheet or something? You get a receipt or?
No. You just have to check on the computer where you would order your commissary.
Oh, okay.
You just go and check your balance.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. What you were in 2011 and then 2018. Did you see any major differences between then and more recently?
I mean, other than the security, just some of the things that were going on. Like I remember in 2011, you could order razors through commissary.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that anymore. Now, if you want to shave, which you got to do it as well as get a haircut if you're going to court. At night, the CO will pick a certain night out of the week, much like going to the barbershop.
Yeah.
And sign up on the list. He'll bring you a razor.
Okay.
And slide it under the door.
Mm-hmm.
Give you about a half hour, whatever, to take care of your business. Because, it's the whole pod. It's not just you.
Yeah.
It's whoever wanted a razor.
Yeah.
And then he's going to come back around and collect that razor from you.
Okay.
And that's how that works.
But back then, they just give you one.
Earlier, yeah. I mean, you could have it and keep it in your cell and all this, and it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You have a weapon, right there.
Sure.
Maybe it's a little razor. I get it, but still, you cut somebody good enough, do some damage to them.
Yeah.
So that was different. The library is closed. So there's no more of that. No more writing to the chaplain to get any kind of really books or anything like that. They have some old magazines, but they're so old and picked over, things like that. They'll send you those. You could request what do they call them? Crossword puzzles, word searches, things like that. They'll send you that, and a Bible. They'll send you that.
So what, they used to have a physical library, and now it's like, could you do legal research in that library?
You could before.
Now you can't.
Now you can. Yeah.
Now it's all on a
just
computer.
On this computer. Yeah, which you have to know how to get onto and work and do all that. It's
Probably a lot of guys can't use
difficult.
it.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. A lot of guys will ask someone that knows how to do it for their help. So you will usually see two guys working on the law library computer, and it's one guy teaching them how to. This is how you find this. This is how you find cases of precedent. This is how you do that.
Now is that computer in the pod?
It's in the pod.
It's in the pod.
Yeah, it's in the pod. It's right next to the commissary computer, and it's just the one.
Okay. When you say card, what kind of card games? They everybody play poker, or they play different spades?
Poker, spades. Yeah, it depends. When I did play cards, we played 500. I like to play 500. It's just a long game. It just goes on forever. Yeah. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's not too difficult. But yeah, spades are big. Poker, I want to say not so much.
No, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a longer, game. There's strategy involved. Not everybody in there is good at.
Gotcha.
Spades is a little bit easier. There's no like bluffing or real, what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's those kind of games. Yeah.
Okay. What if let's say someone would at least in Pennsylvania the way it works is if your sentence is under 1 year. Okay, you can go to the county jail and do your sentence under 1 year. If your minimum is more than 1 year, then you go to state. So there may be some people watching this video who may be facing a county sentence, okay, and they're still out. Okay, but they're facing a county sentence. What kind of advice would you give to them to maybe prepare themselves mentally?
All right. Well, just whatever your time is going to be. You got to deal with that. If it's only going to be, like you said, 90 days,
could be right
in the county,
sure,
for just 3 months. That's it's not that bad, but it could be worse.
Sure.
You're down there for a year or so. You got to have a lot of things in order on the outside. As opposed to a quick stay. I would say, someone actually called me after I was in there first and said, "Hey, what do I need to do?"
Yeah.
So I was like, "You got a pen and paper?" You know what I mean? I was like, "Get ready."
Well, drop a few.
Couple. Let's see. Right off the bat. Let's say you're on medications.
Yeah.
You need to let these people on the inside. So you need to know your dose. The pill, the name of the medication specifically. Not just, this thing, the actual name, the dose, who prescribed it, doctor, the doctor's office's phone number, in case they want to contact your doctor just to double check, things like that. So you want to have that all really, set up, as far as contacts, when you get inside and make contacts, you want to have all those people's exact information as well. You want to have their name, their the phone number, their exact address, all these things.
And when you say contacts, who do you mean? Like family members,
attorney, your attorney, anybody you want to get in touch with on the outside, because the way the phone system is set up, they have to be approved, for you to speak to. And especially if you want visits, they have to be approved on this list. So that's your contacts. You want to have all their information, exact. And then you turn that in, and they're going to approve or disapprove of them. I never really seen anybody disapproved unless they are
a co-defendant in the case.
Co-defendant or on probation, parole.
Gotcha.
Things like that, they're not going to let them in.
Gotcha. Those are two really good pieces of advice.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about the prescription stuff. That's important.
Prescriptions and your contacts, you need to have all that stuff set up. And then money.
Yeah.
How are you going to survive on the inside? If you want commissary, things like that, you need to have somebody reliable on the outside that's going to stay in contact with you. Hey, I need a couple bucks. Can you send me that?
Can you put money on the books beforehand, before you go in?
No.
You got to be checked in.
Yeah, you don't have, you're not processed. So
Can you
don't
bring
have an
money
account.
with you though to put on?
Sure. If
Like
say
$100 cash. Or
yeah,
something?
say you're arrested with money in your pocket,
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah, if you're staying,
Mhm.
you're going to end up staying.
Mhm.
You're not going home. You didn't make bail. Whatever the reason is, you have a detainer.
Yeah.
Whatever
yeah.
the reason is, yeah, you just turn that in before you go upstairs. So
Okay.
you'll have your money on you when you get to the room with the vending machines,
Mhm.
so you can use it there. And
Okay.
yeah, before they send you upstairs, they're gonna take your money from you and give you a receipt. And it's gonna be
Gotcha.
on your books.
Okay.
That's it.
What else? You took money, prescriptions, contacts. I think those are 3 really good tips.
Yeah.
Anything else off the top of your head, or?
Just yeah, no, not really. Nothing you really, because a lot of times when you're going in, it's sudden.
Right.
There's not
That's
a whole lot.
yeah, I understand that.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's
Right.
only, a few cases where you're
Yeah,
turning yourself in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah.
I can speak to that personally as an attorney. Most people are going to be picked up on something, okay, and that's how they're going to go in, and there is no preparation.
Yeah,
okay.
you're just going.
Some, though, because I've done cases with people who are getting
sure.
county sentences,
Yeah.
and they may be free on bail, and then they get a sentence where they're going to go. But a lot of times, even if they're getting a county sentence, they're already in for something.
Right.
Probation, detain, or can't make bail, etc. A bunch of different things.
Yeah, the detainers are, they're tough.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring you on again. We can talk about probation. You did some time on probation, right?
Sure.
Mark. Yeah.
Probation. It's just stay out of trouble.
Sure.
You don't want to, give these guys any reason to send you back.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. What about and what were some things maybe that you saw at the county jail that you thought were unfair, and or perhaps and just something glaring. I understand there's a lot of unfairness. I mean, obviously you're in jail, but things that you think, that the jail could improve upon, I mean, rather than just general stuff, having more nice thing, more TV, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera.
Anything
you saw that you were like, this is really just BS or unfair?
Shit. I mean, you got to remember you're in jail,
right?
Right. You have no, little rights to complain about, hey, this is my situation, blah blah blah. They're just going to answer you with, "Don't come to jail."
Right.
I mean, completely unfair. Yeah,
I got you.
You're stuck in there. It's what.
Yeah.
What are you going to really complain about?
Did you ever have problems with your prescriptions? That's something that I get oftentimes, because some people will go in there and they'll have a lot of prescriptions, and perhaps, like you said, Mark, they didn't tell the jail, exactly what it was that they were supposed to be getting. So my clients will call me and say, Joe, they're not getting, they may have, some sort of heart medicine, like some serious stuff, and they're not getting the right things. Do you ever have any problems like that? Or
I mean, just waiting, I guess, just waiting for it to actually get, through to you.
Yeah.
The first time I was in there, I was still taking SSRIs, Celexa, and antidepressants, and when you're on these things, thank God I'm not anymore. But when you're on these things, stopping suddenly can be really bad.
Sure.
So I got checked in, and obviously I was taking my medication when I was, brought to intake and processing and things like that. But then once once you see this doctor while you're still at intake, you give them that information. Like I said, you need to have your, what it is and dose, and then, and doctor and what, so they can check. But even with all that information, they still need to check, and make sure you're not just BSing them. So it was like, I want to say 5 to 6 days.
Wow.
After my first, intake, before I got my medications.
Wow.
And anybody that's on, antidepressants or, any kind of health sustaining medication, mental health sustaining medication, can tell you 5 to 6 days is not good.
So if you went in on like a Friday, they might not even be able to call till Monday.
Right.
And then they might not get a hold of the doctor until Tuesday or Wednesday.
The doctor's office, it's
impossible.
It's his office. You've seen a doctor's office. Yeah.
Sure.
your one little phone call is not top priority for, that doctor. So yeah, like I said, it takes him time to get back to the jail.
Sure.
Then it's not the doctor prescribing isn't the person making these phone calls at the jail from the jail anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this person gets that information, and then they have to talk to the doctor that works at the jail.
Yeah.
Then he okays your medication.
Gotcha.
Then it comes to you.
Gotcha. Any final stories that you want to share about your time at the jail? Anything funny that you saw happened?
I mean, there's, you could go either way. It's tough. One guy I was in there with, he got his wife, was just fed up with him. Sent him, a letter saying, we're basically divorcing him.
Yeah.
Via letter while he's sitting in jail.
Yeah.
And then just tearing him to shreds.
Yeah.
You're bad for the daughter. This
was that your cellie that happened to, or somebody?
It was not my cellie, just somebody I was in contact with from downstairs all the way up.
Okay.
We just kind of chummy with each other.
Yeah.
Similar things, and
sure,
we could talk. And it's, he got some just terrible friggin' news. Man.
Yeah.
And it was sad. It was just,
How about any funny stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
everybody jokes around. And clowns,
yeah, I mean, you kid around, you joke.
Maybe next time. Think about it.
I remember one guy come back with a haircut. He looked like don't even call it Friars, like Friar Tuck. Yeah. He had just this like. And that was it. He was all bought. So yeah, we all made fun of him real bad.
Yeah.
And then just picking on little guys, with things like picking on certain people.
Yeah.
Hey, you big, look at you, the size of, you just goof around with guys.
What did that guy do that on purpose?
Yeah, he actually wanted it.
He wanted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's you just try to make it as best as you can in there. Like I said, hard times for hard asses, and that's true.
Okay.
If you're going to be in there, you just try to get through it as easy as you can.
Sure.
You don't want to make it rough, because it's a hard place to be in a rough situation. There's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah.
A guy, this guy I was in there with, he found out that his brother and father got killed in a car accident from the CO.
Wow.
He saw it on the news.
Oh, wow.
He told this guy, like, hey, that's your last name, isn't it? And all this shit. You know what I mean? And sure enough, this guy, he found out his dad and brother passed away.
Wow.
That way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a phone call, no type of intimacy, nothing like it,
Yeah.
So that, that was just
He's
horrible.
probably losing it right there.
Yeah, it was horrible, just to see.
Sure.
So that's, like I said, things can change real quick. You could be, in a really good mood, and then all of a sudden you get a letter from somebody or something from the judge or even your attorney. So hey, this didn't go, the way we hoped.
One more thing is I know I get a lot of guys, I get some clients who would rather be in the county, or they'd rather be in the state prison when they're facing time. I mean, were there a lot of guys like that talk about state prison, saying, I want to go up there, it's better, this and that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, they talk about wanting to go to the state facilities. You can have, cigarettes, cable television. It's just the luxuries.
More
really.
luxuries,
you know what
there,
I mean?
yeah.
But I don't want to be in a state prison.
If you're in state prison, it means you're doing one more time.
You've done something
Yeah.
bad to get there. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in prison, man.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'd rather just stay in the county. I'm keep it as as minimal as possible,
and close to your family and
close
friends.
to home. Yeah,
you get, you get sent to a state, you'd be in the middle of the state. You could be on the other side.
You
of the
could be
state.
somewhere in it. Yeah, across the country. Depending
Well,
on what
federal
you did.
stuff. Yeah,
they could send you all over the place. Yeah, you don't want to be in state jail.
Okay.
State prison.
All right.
Even with all those luxuries, it's you don't want to be locked up.
Any final thoughts for the audience, Marc?
Yeah, I just this was good to do. If you're gonna go to jail, if you think it's coming, whatever, you've been sentenced. If you get in trouble and you're arrested right there and they send you to jail, it's not the end of the world. I know it seems like it. You're in a pretty bad spot. but it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. Life goes on. Time heals, you know, wounds. You know, it's you know, it's not going to, you know, go away overnight. You just need to get through it, stay strong, and you know, you will come out on the other side okay eventually. You know. So yeah, just that's it really.
Well, thanks for coming on, Marc. Like I
Yeah,
said, maybe we'll have you on again. Okay, we can talk
sure.
about some other stuff, or when you get your own channel up and running. You know,
we'll see about that.
We'll do a collaboration.
Still working on it.
But if you like this video, please like it, leave a comment, also subscribe to my show. I'm going to do more live streams, but also I do my other standard videos. Thank you everybody for jumping in. Sorry I couldn't be too interactive, but I hope you enjoyed the content regardless. Thank you.